So I'm going to tell you tonight about my favorite period of Séance. So the history of Séance. In the 30s and the 20s was when the rich people started hiring mediums to entertain at their parties. The original Parlor shows. I bet they were incredible. Just kind of working up to be exciting and punchy. And I've researched them to death, and that's what I'm going to try to recreate for you tonight.
Yeah.
Spirit in Mind is a 12-year-old or 15-year-old girl that died in 1932, and her name is Lily Rose. Now let me tell you what, we're going to use some vintage seance equipment that would have been appropriate for her time period. We're going to use this. Now usually I ask people what this is, and nobody knows. Everybody knows what's this? Real trumpet, yeah. Amplifies the voice of the dead to a level that even we, the living, can understand. And I always use something like chimes or a tambourine, anything that could detect, slight vibrations so that we might know the spirit is present. Also, the most important thing in all seances is the lighting. And you always see candles. Has anyone ever been to a seance where they didn't see a candle there? It's just the recipe, the glue that makes it work. Well, there was a guy that he decided to really figure out why the candle worked. And so he focused on it. He studied it. There's a sound it makes that's very, very slight, and the flickery color of the candle. So he really worked on those, and he made a machine that amplifies that. So if you take what makes it work and amplify it, it'll make it work even better, was the theory. So I heard about this, and I've been searching one out, and here it is, ladies and gentlemen, from 1941. Phasmosmatron. Sure you all got one at home. Dave, if I could borrow for 1 minute, if you just come right up here. Dave? See that switch right there? You just flip that switch right there? See that? Yeah, that's right there. Flip it.
Flip it up.
Excellent, thank you. I never touch that anymore. I appreciate it. I guess that's the accident I learned. Now, I'm going to tell you what I know already about Lily Rose. I told you that she passed in 1932. She lived in Hooksett, New Hampshire, and she lived in a colonial house with her mother and father and her older sister, Luna. I don't know how old Luna was, but across the street from them lived another family, the Hobbs family, and they had one son, and his name was William. William is 15 years old, just like Lily. As a matter of fact, they grew up across the street from each other, best friends growing up, and now that they're teenagers, it's bloomed into something else. They fell in love. In fact, they decided they would get married one day. Now, William decided he was going to surprise Lily something special for Valentine's Day. And what he's going to do is there's a lake at the end of the street that they live on. And so he's going to get some ice skates, and they're going to go skating on the frozen lake together, something they'd never done before. So he searched out some used ice skates, got them, presented them to Lillian, and that's what they did. I know that's what they did. They went ice skating on Valentine's Day. I bet it was beautiful. I bet they were really having a time. But I also know it wasn't cold enough because the ice broke and Lillian fell through and she didn't survive. I can imagine that William was right there. He was probably, I don't know, I picture him laying right there reaching into the hole, maybe even watching her slip away into the depths, but he couldn't save her. And after that, William was never the same. I guess you'd expect that. He didn't hang out with his friends anymore. He wasn't interested in sports so much. But then, a year to the day after the accident, something you wouldn't expect happened. William didn't come down for breakfast. Imagine his folks probably went upstairs looking for him. Didn't find him. Found maybe his bed untouched. I'm sure they would have called the neighbors. I bet everyone looked for William. I'm sure they would have called the police. They never found William. William Hobbs was never heard from again after that day. Now move ahead about 15 years. There was a traveling freak show going up and down the eastern seaboard. Their star attraction was a medium who performed in a gypsy wagon. And for 37 cents, she'd tell you your fortune. For another 37 cents, she'd help contact you with your dearly beloved, somebody that you knew that passed. And this medium's name was Luna Rose. The same Luna Rose whose little sister died in 1932 in a pond, drowned. Now you might wonder how I could know so many details about this story. It's simple. I'm a seance freak. I buy everything I can find. Whenever I go on vacation, first thing is, do you have anything seance? If they have something vintage, ask my wife, she'll tell you, I buy it. I got a lot of stuff. But one of the things I found was this case of vintage seance equipment. And in it were several things. Like one of them is this, which is a memorial card for a little girl who died on Valentine's Day, 1932, Lillian Rose, beloved sister and daughter. There was also this, a ticket for Hobbs & Company for October 31st, a traveling freak show. For 37 cents, you can see Luna Rose read your fortune. For another 37 cents, you can have her help you with a seance. That's how I knew those things. There was also this, which is very cool. This is a ticket box. A ticket box is, a lot of mediums and fortune tellers, they'll use ticket boxes to take your money, so they don't actually have to touch your money. You know, they'll say something like, oh, it's not about the money, I just care deeply about helping you, things like that. So they take your ticket, here, you help me out with that. Take the ticket and just put it in the box, like that. That's what they would do. So see, they never really handled it. They never touched the ticket. There's a picture of, I suppose that's probably Luna on the front, right there. So if you would just take this and just, oh, sorry, there, hold on for that, if you would. We'll come back to it later, don't let me forget. And then also in the case, I noticed that this does that. And inside I have a picture of a girl. That is this girl. So that's Lily Rose right there, kind of memorialized. And right next to her, a diary, a little girl's diary. It says 1932 on the front. I've read it cover to cover. It talks about a little girl who lives in a colonial house, her super cool older sister who pretends she can talk to ghosts, the little boy William who lives across the street that she loves, is going to take her ice skating. She wants to marry him one day. All those things are in here and lots more. That made me think though, here I have a medium's case with all the tools of the trade, and then this memorial for her dead sister. What do you think she was doing? I think she was using it, trying to talk to her dead sister, and perhaps very successful at it. So I looked into that. It's a thing. It's called bibliomancy. Speaking to spirits using something written that was familiar to them in life. They used the writings to answer questions. I didn't mention it, but the first time I held the book, I sort of got a vision. And it didn't make any sense. It was like a sepia tone movie. I saw children dressed in like Victorian clothes, like 15-year-old, 14, 16-year-old, something like that, party clothes, dressed up, and they were playing with a ball. And the picture was kind of yellow and gray tones, but the ball was red. I could tell the ball was red. And there was a girl in her party dress, and she heaves the ball off, and a boy catches it. And he laughs, and he throws it back to her. And now it's her turn. She's supposed to throw it to another child, I suppose, but she didn't. She gave right back to that same kid again. They did that back and forth, and the other kids kind of got upset. And that was it. The dumbest vision. That's what I felt when I touched the book. Open that to April 22nd, if you would. April 22nd. I left a bookmark in there so you can find it easy. Right at the top. Would you read that for us?
April 22nd. Walking outside my house today, I noticed a red ball that I played with all the children. Each one hoped that I would throw it to them. I always threw it to William, so I miss William today more than yesterday. I wish William was here to help. Mommy and I made cookies downstairs.
So it was like days later when I read that, when I got to that, and I realized it was what I had pictured in my head. It kind of freaked me out. I told my wife about it, and she said, "You idiot, you read the thing before, you probably just remembered that part," and I assured her I didn't. So I started reading into bibliomancy and how it works. And what you're supposed to do is ask a question of the spirit and then come up with a way for the spirit to direct you to the thing in the book that would answer the question. And you let the spirit form the vision in your head before you read the thing in the book. So if what you form in your head matches what you read in the book, well, that, folks, is a bibliomancy. That worked then. So that's what we're going to try today. And you guys are going to help me. It's easy. I'll tell you exactly what to do. Now, for this to work, very important is the lighting. So we're going to just kind of tone it down a little bit. Get rid of this guy. And the phasmosmetron is super strong, and I find it works better when the lighting is indirect. Like that. Now, it's also very important that you guys have absolute faith in these proceedings, which I've just lost by putting that behind the drape. So I need one person to just come up and verify there's nothing going on back there. Can I have someone just come up? Do you want to do it? You're easy to get to. You're standing right up. Just walk right over here. What do you see back there?
Yes, it's nothing but your...
Is any possibility of a person hiding? Any kind of equipment other than the phasmosmetron? Satisfied?
No, just one fan transmitter.
Beautiful. Okay, you guys happy with that? Mm-hmm. All right, you can grab your seat then. Thank you so much. Excellent job. Okay. Now, I want you guys to participate in the seance without fear of retribution from the spirit world. It's very unusual for a spirit to harm the living, but if by chance one of you does become possessed, I don't want you to worry about a thing. I saw The Exorcist like 4 times. I should totally be able to expel anything that shows up, without too much trouble. Okay. We're going to call Lily. There is a land where we all go. It's near the frost, and where cold winds blow. Friends remembered reunite. Those who hate forget to spite. And glow surrounds these gentle beings. We call you now. Join our meeting. Heaven's promise, our spirits thrive. So now, for the living, let the dead come alive! Call to the spirit, Lily Rose. Lily, can you join us? We have your diary with us. And I have a question for you. Yeah, she's with us. Lily, I've read your diary, and I've noticed a problem with it. It starts, the first thing in the diary talks about you going ice skating on the lake with William. It's like the 4th day in the diary. And we know you passed away that day. We know about the accident. And after that in the diary, there's days after days about cookies and mom and dad and the house, William across the street, things you did with your sister. Lillian, it doesn't make sense. How could the diary be written? How'd you do it? Did you? That's our question. How the diary exists. Who wrote the diary about you? All right, here's how we're going to do it. You have dates on those cards in front of you. Every day on those cards matches up with a day in the book. We've asked our question. Lily, Fred's going to start rifling through the cards, put one on the table at a time. And Lily, when you feel like Fred has come to your day, a day that answers the question, maybe gives us some clues of how you could have written the diary, stop us. Give us a sign. Let us know somehow, anything you can do. Maybe jiggle one of those lamps over there, or maybe touch Fred's hand, or just any kind of a sign, something, so we know the day that he flipped to is the one that will help us understand how the diary was written. Whoa, right there. Is that just me? Did you guys hear that? Yeah, I heard something, right? All right. You know what? Lily, can you give us a definitive sign so that we know that that's the date you want us to use, that that's the day that we look up? Anything else? You could make a sign again or anything at all. Your senses should be at their sharpest. Anything she does at this point can be a sign from the other side. Thank you, Lily. We're going with that card. That's the day. All right, good. You don't need to tell me. Go ahead and look that up. Don't tell us what it is. Lily, can you give me a vision like you did before that will be what we chose, what this day was, that's going to tell us how you wrote the diary? I see it. Wait, I see a bedroom, and there's a hand writing in the diary. Lily, is that your spirit hand somehow writing? No, it's a human hand. Lily, this doesn't answer. Oh, wait, there's more. I see Lily. She's a spirit. She's like, I can see through her, but she's there. And she's next to a boy. William? Am I looking at, are you next to William? He's writing in the diary? does that mean William wrote the diary? No, now she's whispering. She's whispering to him, and he's writing in the diary. That's what she told me. Go ahead and read it. Is that anything like what you found?
March 18th. It says, I scared him when I whispered to him. 3:25. I did see him write it down.
Wow.
I know he will be able to complete this. I sense it. The time will come.
So she said that he was writing, and she said she whispered and she scared him while he was writing. Yeah, that'd be scary. I can see that. Lily, that's exactly what we wanted to know. But we want to know what happened to William. Where did he go? And I've asked her this before, and there's nothing that she stopped me at. So we're going to try something different today. You've got a switch there right next to you. Can you? Go ahead, Kelly. That's the light. Beautiful. Lily, is there a way without the diary that you can tell us what happened? A little more information about William? He disappeared a year after the accident. Do you know what happened to him? Is there any other way you can tell us? Anything you can do? The lake. Tell us more. No, Lily, tell us more. What about the lake? What does that mean? Lily, what does that mean? What happened? Is there any more? We've lost the phasmosmetron. All right, that's very powerful. It must have overloaded. We still perhaps still have a contact here. Lily, if you're still with us, if that didn't end our contact, is there anything else you can tell us, or are we done? Is the seance over, Lily? Is there anything else you can tell us? Any other information you can share with us? Are you still with us? I think the seance. Whoops. Is that a sign? I think our connection has been broken. Lily, as I blow out this candle, the seance will end. We thank you for joining us. We wish you and Luna peace. Okay, you can turn the light back on. Yeah, the switch, just flip on that light.
No.
Okay, it must have been on the same fuse. So she told us a lot of things. We know that William wrote the diary. We know that she whispered the words to him. We asked her what happened to William, and she told us the lake. But I don't really understand what happened to William still. But there's a little more that I didn't tell you. So there was another spirit with us tonight, the spirit of Luna. Every time I do this, Luna answers us questions too. We paid her for a reading, remember? We put a ticket for a reading in her ticket box, which is right here. Would you go ahead and open that for me? Maybe she has more to tell us. Where's the ticket?
November 25th.
The ticket's gone. You still have the book open? Can you find November 25th?
November.
Maybe what Luna's going to tell us will help us understand what happened. Go ahead and read it.
Follow the moon. The ice is weak. Come be with me. It's you I seek.
Follow the moon, the ice is weak. The lake. William's in the lake. She called William a year after her death to join her in a watery grave. That bitch. But later tonight, when you're home, in bed, maybe thinking about what happened tonight, looking up into the darkness, I want you to remember there's nothing to fear in the dark. It's merely the absence of light. Save your fear for what lurks in the dark. what might follow you home for the Paranormal Parlor show tonight. Thank you very much.